So real estate agents really have a tendency to be optimistic because that's how they generate their business. Now, news media, on the other hand, they lend more towards anxiety because they want to keep you watching their program. Now, something happened during the month of April that every homeowner who's been on the fence about selling, they need to see. And I'm going to share that with you, so stay with me. Now, let me start with what's actually happening in April, because what actually happened in April, because I want you to understand the foundation before we get into anything else. 1,045 single-family homes closed in Sarasota County last month, and 1,430 went under contract, or currently under contract at the moment, meaning that the pipeline headed into May and June is already loaded. These are not speculative numbers. These are real transactions that actually crossed the finish line. Now, here's what's even more significant. Inventory in the Greater Sarasota area is down 43% compared to the same point last year. Much smaller pool than they did 12 months ago. That means the sellers who are in the market today have dramatically less competition than they did a year ago. That is a measurable, real advantage, and I want you to hold on to that thought as we get through the rest of this. Now, I want to walk you through what I think probably is the most important thing that any homeowner in the Greater Sarasota area can understand about our market today. And it comes down to three numbers and really the gap between them. So the median asking price of all active listings on the market right now, the homes that are currently sitting on the market available in Palmer Ranch, Lakewood Ranch, the Barrier Islands, Venice, Osprey, the downtown corridor, the median price is at $497,995. That's where most sellers believe that the market is. They look at their neighbors down the street, what they listed at, and they assume that that's the number for their home too. Now, the median asking price of homes that actually went under contract in April, the ones buyers actually choose to write offers on, is at $439,950. That is a $58,000 difference, and not a single offer has been written on their property. Buyers are simply passing over the homes priced in that $497 range. They're not even getting to the negotiation table. Then those homes that went under contract closed at a median of $425,900. That is another $14,000 that came off during negotiation. Now, that total gap between when most sellers price their home at to where buyers are actually closing, $72,000. And if you own a home in that $750,000 to $1.3 range, which describes many of you guys watching this, that same dynamic plays out at a significantly larger scale. We're talking well over $100,000 that never makes it to the closing table. It's not a negotiation problem, that's a positioning problem. And it happens before any offer is even written, and most sellers never fully understand why their home sat on the market while the home down the street sold. Now that gap, $72,000, it's not inevitable. It's a result of a positioning decision, and it's the decision that most sellers make without ever realizing that they make it. Now, when I sit down with a homeowner, the conversation isn't just about what to list your property for. It's about understanding who your buyer is, what your story needs to tell to that buyer, and how to get maximum exposure to the right audience before it ever even hits the market. The goal is to make sure that your home is on the right side of the gap and the group where buyers are actually choosing, not on the other side where the group is actually skipping them over entirely. Now, most sellers don't realize that how much of their outcome is actually determined before the sign even goes into the yard. The pricing strategy, the preparation, the marketing narrative. Those decisions made in advance are often what determines whether your home sells in 42 days or sits on the market for 150 days or even longer. Whether your home closes near your asking price or if you're giving back some of that $72,000 at the closing table. This isn't about putting a sign in your yard and hoping that another agent sells it. It's about building a strategy that puts more money in your pocket at the closing table. That's a conversation worth having. Now, here's my honest read. My threshold for a balanced market is under that 4 months of inventory. That's typically where buyers and sellers roughly have equal footing at the negotiation table. Above 4 months, buyers carry the leverage. The offer may not come, and if it does, buyers will fight you for every last dollar. Currently, we're at 4.72 months. We are still in a buyer's market territory, and I'm not going to tell you otherwise. But the data is telling me something has shifted, Inventory has compressed steadily, down 43% year over year. Transaction volume is up. Buyers are making decisions. Taken together, those signals suggest that sellers may quietly be reclaiming some of the negotiation power that they haven't had in the better part of 2 years. The door is beginning to open for sellers. Whether it stays open and for how long really depends on factors that none of us can fully control. But right now, for the first time in a while, the direction is starting to move in the seller's favor. Now, I want to be straightforward with you about mortgage rates because they matter significantly to the buyer who might be purchasing your home. Currently, on a 30-year fixed, is sitting at about 6.61% as of this week. Now, rates have been pretty volatile, driven largely by investor uncertainty about overall confidence in the U.S. economy, which has been affected in part by ongoing geopolitical tensions. Now, until that uncertainty settles, rates are likely to remain unpredictable. Now, here's what specific to your price point. If your home is between that $750,000 and $1.3 million price range, many of the buyers who are financing are using jumbo loan levels. In today's rate, 6.75, a buyer who puts down 20% on a $900,000 home is carrying a monthly payment of principal and interest about $4,700. And that's before taxes, insurance, HOA fees, and anything else is associated with their mortgage. That number has not meaningfully improved in the last year. Buyer affordability at your price point remains a real, very real constraint, and it has to be part of the pricing conversation. Now, here's what I promised you at the start of the video. For the past 2 years, the median home value in the Greater Sarasota area has been declining, roughly 14% from its peak to its trough. Most homeowners watching this have felt it, whether it's through their property estimate or really just general conversations that they've had with their neighbors. Now, in April 2026, data shows us that the median closed price is at $425,900. The same time last year, that number was $419,900. This is the first year-over-year increase in median closed price that we have seen in the market for close to 2 years. Now, 1 month is not create a trend, but I want to be clear with you about that. But after 2 years of that number moving in the wrong direction, one direction down, this is the first signal pointing it the other way. Now, combined with inventory down 43%, transaction volume up, and buyers actively closing, the data tells a story that anyone's been sitting on the fence they need to hear today. That door is opening, but here's the practical reality. Most homeowners who decide today that they want to move in this market, they're not going to be ready for 60, 90, sometimes 120 days. The preparation, the pricing strategy, the marketing plan, it takes time to do it right. And homeowners that capture this window are the ones who are starting to have those conversations now, not when everyone else figures it out. If anything, and this video resonated with you, if you've been watching this market wondering whether the time is finally right, now that's a conversation worth having. Now, my job is to position you strategically, to build a compelling story about your home, get you in front of the right buyers, and to stuff more money in your pocket when you sell. That all starts with one conversation. Again, I'm Ed Grabowski, your local broker here in the Greater Sarasota area. I'm going to drop a link below that's directed to my calendar so that we can schedule time to get together. Let's see what the market means for your specific situation. Again, I'm Ed Grabowski. I appreciate your time today, and I look forward to connecting with you very soon. Take care, and we'll talk to you soon.